just a matter of how much power do you need. Today, I'm going to introduce you to time to buy a Jackery product because they're having a 15% off store-wide sale from May 17th to May 19th. That's 3 days worth of savings. They even have a collectible card game on their website where you can win up to $4,000 worth of travel gear. So, I've had the chance to use this battery for about a month, so today, I'm going to give you my opinion and introduce you to the new Jackery Explorer 1500.
Ever take a look in the mirror sometimes when you've not shaven for a while? Yes, I'm talking to the boys. Ladies, I don't know if you understand this point. But when you don't shave for a while and the facial hair grows out and the hair grows on your head and you realize, I'm getting super gray. Check it out. On my face too. I don't look this, do I look this gray when I don't shave and cut my hair? Because holy, what's going on? Hey guys, what's up? Today, I want to talk to you guys about a new product that Jackery has, the Explorer 1500. You guys have seen just about every battery that Jackery makes on this channel. I currently use the Jackery Explorer 240 for everything. Hold on, I gotta... Let me clean up first. Refresher. Oh. This is the Jackery Explorer 1500, the brand new battery in the Jackery lineup. This thing is a beast. But before we dive into this, I need to tell you guys a little bit of a story. I've been a brand ambassador for Jackery for over 3 years. They reached out to my channel when my channel was only this big and offered me the small battery that I still use on a daily basis, the exact one they gave me 3 years ago, which is the Explorer 240. That thing powers all of my outside camping needs. If I need power, I need to cut my hair, I need to chase my dog with his nail trimmers because he runs as soon as he sees that orange battery. He's like, oh, I'm getting my nails trimmed, and he books it. But because the battery's got a handle on it, I just chase him down and do it. I love that little battery. And over the years, because I've been a brand ambassador, they have sent me just about every single product they've ever released. And just recently, I ended up donating my Explorer 500 and the Explorer 1000 to another van dweller and also one of my DJ friends who just needed some outdoor power to power his parties, and the van dweller had no electricity in his van whatsoever, so I donated one of the batteries and one of the solar panels to him. When I gave away the other ones, I was super excited because I got some space back in my van. And then they released this one. And I got super intrigued. It's not the power, not the size of it and how much capacity it has that intrigued me. It was how fast this thing charges because on this one, you can double up your input sources. Before, you had one option. You can plug one thing into it, plug it into the wall. Now, well, you can plug 2 plugs and plug them into 2 sockets in the wall and just pull power from the grid. I think it charges in well, I will get into that in a second here. So you're probably wondering why you would need a product like this. So if you're weekend camping, a larger battery like this one here is going to be enough to keep your family's cell phones, laptops, and some LED lighting and stuff like that running while the family's out there camping. Or if you're overlanding, this thing here should be enough to power the back of your camper van or power the pickup truck and your laptops and maybe your drones while you're gone away for a little while. And if you're easy on the power, you might be able to get away with using this thing for a longer run if you're only charging smaller things like an LED light and a cell phone. But the cool thing about this one is it has an 1800 watt pure sine wave inverter. 1800 watts, which means you could plug in anything up to 1800 watts, which means if you got an induction cooktop, boom, no problem. If you have a hair dryer, no problem. Curling iron, No problem. Instapot, no problem. Man, I could be going on forever. But you got to keep in mind too, when you are running a larger pull product like that, sure, this may run it, but how long can you run it before this thing is going to need to take on a charge? That's where people, I think, when it comes to using any electrical in your van, whether you're using a portable one or a permanently mounted one, they always think, well, I can run an induction cooktop on it. Yeah, but what if you only run the induction cooktop for an hour and all of a sudden the battery's dead? Now what? What if there's no sun in the sky? What if you're not driving? How are you going to drive power back into here if you have such high demand units? And this is something people don't talk about a lot when it comes to portable power. They all just want to know, can you run an induction cooktop? Sure, on this one, absolutely you can. Can you run a sleep app machine? Absolutely you can. Is it CPAP or sleep app? Anyway, absolutely you can. But you also got to take a look at how many watts those items draw and how long you could keep this battery running with that item. That's where this one has a very cool feature that the other batteries did not have. It shows you the output current, and which is great because the other Jackery batteries show you the output current, but below it, it tells you how many hours that this thing will run at that current draw. Current draw? You get the point. Which is awesome. So if you are running just say a small TV and stuff like that in your overland rig that's pulling 10 watts, just say, and you have your cell phone plugged in and you're wondering, well, how long is this going to last? And if you look on the machine and it tells you, hey man, you have 55 hours of pull left. Well, amazing. How amazing is that? So that's the great thing I liked about this, is that the improved screen display is beautiful on here. The one that I've got on the 3-and-some-year-old Jackery Explorer 240 does not have this fancy display. And I'm a flashy kind of guy, so I enjoy being able to see exactly what my battery system is doing, how much percentage it has left on it, and how many watts is being pulled on an item, which helps me judge on what items I should and shouldn't use on the device, and how many hours left I have at that current draw. The front screen display on all the Jackery batteries are very user-friendly, but this one here completely changes the game when it comes to anything portable power, because it has dual power inputs, which we'll dive into that in a second. And how it's all laid out is it's got all these sections just boxed in for you. So if you need USB power, whether it's USB-C, regular USB, or a fast 3.0 charging port, which is awesome for somebody who just needs a quick charge on their cell phone or needs to get that drone back up in the air, and you have it run off USB power, you can get things done up a lot faster using the 3.0. And to turn that section on, you simply push that button, and now everything inside of here turns on and is ready to use. And when you're done, you simply just push the button and shut it off. Over here is all your AC. This has an 1800 watt pure sine wave inverter inside, meaning that it's sending pure, clean, steady power to all your delicate devices like your iPads, your expensive laptops, your drones, your cameras, and all that stuff. You'll always want to make sure when it comes to running anything inside your van from 12 volt and you convert it over to AC power, that it has a pure sine wave inverter inside. And this thing is already set up and ready to go for you and has 3 output plugs. So you can run up 3 different things at the same time, or you could run a power bar to something in the back and just leave this turned on all the time and plug everything into your external power bar. And it also has a 12 volt cigarette style plug in there too as well. And you just push that button up top there when you need it. Having the new screen display, which tells you how many hours that you can use those products, are going to come in extremely handy for a lot of people, because then you don't have to figure out all of that math stuff to find out how long something is going to run. This thing is a 1,488 watt hour lithium ion battery inside. So how to figure that out is, if you have something that's running 1 watt, it will run for 1,488 hours. That's what a watt hour is. So if something's pulling 1 watt, it will last the amount of hours that are on there. So another way to put it is, if you have something that runs 1,488 watts it will only last 1 hour, and then this battery is going to need to be recharged again. That's where I think a lot of people get confused when they're like, oh, this thing can run an induction cooktop. Awesome. Yeah, sure. So if you have a 1500 watt induction cooktop, it's going to run you just under an hour, and then this battery is going to be dead and needing a charge. That's where all the new charging systems come in, and the ability to charge this thing faster, especially if you have optimal sun like we're practically getting here today. It is perfect, and the sun is just about above my van. So close. It's nice now that we're getting into better solar, because with my van, my solar panels are permanently flat mounted. I don't have any of the Jackery panels in my van, but Jackery has portable solar panels which you can tip towards the sun to get optimal solar out of it. Here's where this gets really cool. The battery comes with 2 of these units. Because it's got dual inputs, you can plug that in there, and then you can plug this into the other one. But these also have 2 inputs on here. These are your solar inputs. So if you have 2 Jackery 100 watt solar panels, you could charge this thing with 200 watts of solar. But if you have 4 of those panels, if you plug this in here, now you can run 4 100 watt solar panels and soak in as much energy as you can up there from the sun, charging this thing super fast. The other Jackery batteries never had this much of a power input allowability. Completely changes the game. This is the one that got me excited, because I don't have the solar panels in my van, and chances are if I ever need to charge this, I'm gonna do it one of 2 ways. 1, plug this into my cigarette lighter while I'm driving. They provide you with this, which goes into your dashboard. Then you plug the other end into the front of the Jackery battery. Then while you're driving, you can use some of that alternator power that's coming back to that dash plug anyway, and send it back to your battery here in the back, charging it up while you drive. That's not what got me excited. If you buy 2 of these charging units, so the battery itself comes with 1 wall charger. You plug this side into the front of your Jackery battery. You plug this side into a wall somewhere. Say you're doing laundry somewhere, or you're at a friend's house, or you're at a campsite that's got power. You could plug this one into the power outlet. Who cares? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? Because the other Jackery batteries had that as well too, right? But this time, you could use 2 of these, plugging the other one into right there, charging off dual wall sockets, soaking in as much of that on-grid power as you can in a shorter amount of time. Because if you haven't lived on the road, or you are currently living on the road, you know that when you're on the move all the time, getting access to plugged in electricity on the grid somewhere, we don't always have 7 hours to charge up our batteries. Like the other bigger Jackery batteries was like a 7, 8, 9 hour charge. Not this one. If you order yourself the second adapter, I have a friend of mine that recently bought this unit, and he says plug into the wall with 2 of these. He's had a charge time of like 3 and a little bit hours, which is incredible amount of time. If you're running the 4 solar panels, you could charge this device in like 4 hours in the sun, which is wild. Because I had 2 of the panels before running on the Jackery Explorer 1000. And it took like a long time in mediocre solar conditions. In good solar conditions, running these panels, a 4-hour charge is going to change the game for anybody that's relying on these portable power batteries inside of their vehicles for their power to run everything, especially if you have a, like CPAP, there it goes. If you have a CPAP machine or things like that that you require power every single day, having the ability to charge these things up faster is going to make van life and or overlanding life a lot easier for a lot of people. That's where I think some of the older Jackery batteries fell short, was the charging time was way too long for somebody like me. I don't always have the time to park it, sit still for 8 hours and just go do-do-do-do-do-do and wait for things to charge up. Maybe it's my brain always wanting things like right now, but now having the ability to charge put two of these in the front of it and charge it a lot faster off a wall, I'm in. And if I ever decide to add the solar panels to my van, I can use these things and charge it in double time. Okay. If you want to do some research on these batteries, I'm going to leave the links for them down below here. But let me put on my glasses and read you from the website on what this thing will power and for how long. So if you have a mini cooler that's pulling 60 watts, it will run for 21 hours. A blender that pulls 300 watts, it'll run it for 19 hours. If you have a coffee maker that pulls 1,120 watts, it'll run for 68 minutes. Microwave that pulls 1,000 watts, it'll run for 68 minutes. An electric grill that's 1,150 watts of power draw will run for 1 hour. A 900 watt pressure cooker will run for 75 minutes. And this is where you guys need to understand your power needs inside of your vehicle. All those things listed there, I don't have in my van. I don't have induction cooktops, blenders, or anything that has a high power draw like that. And I think a lot of people getting into this lifestyle don't need to bring a lot of those items along with them. Because if this thing was drained every single day, if every day I ran my microwave and a home style coffee pot and all those little luxuries that don't need to be added to your van life, I think if you drain this battery every day, having a portable power bank in your van would just be a giant pain in the butt because you would be constantly stressed about, I need power, I need to get electricity back in here because I need more power for tomorrow. That's where I strongly believe that if you have larger battery storage, like this one here being the biggest battery so far in the Jackery lineup, if you have larger battery storage and you keep your power inside of your van as minimal as you can, try to avoid anything that plugs into a wall plug. If you can maintain as much 12-volt power in your van as you can, a battery like this could last you a long time before you would need to have a charge. Anytime you have electrical in your vehicle, you're going to always require an input power. That's why running this thing off of your alternator every single time you start your vehicle is going to help add a little bit more power to this when you're going down to get groceries, you're going to get beer, whatever it is. Always keeping this plugged in is key. And anytime you get a day like today, plug in your solar panel, pop it in your front window, and always pull in as much input power as you can, because then you're not going to stress about needing a full-blown charge on a device like this one, which I think if you were to drain it every day, I couldn't imagine. But I honestly think if you're the kind of person that doesn't want to fuss with big elaborate systems like I have in my van, because I'm telling you guys, putting a permanent solar system in your van is a fair chunk of wiring and work. And if you don't understand the electrical side, it can be very hard and dangerous to figure out. But if you're the average person that knows what a positive and a negative is, you can go the length of doing a big elaborate system inside of your van. But I know for a lot of people, that just stresses them out. And I get it. I totally understand. Because when I first moved into my van, people were talking about all these inverters and watts and volts, and I just never understood it. I still barely understand it. Who am I kidding? But that's where having a portable power battery like this one here makes putting power inside of your vans super, 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 super easy. Come on, think about it. All you got to do is like plug this into your cigarette lighter and drive, and you're charging. Plug this one into the wall. That's it, and you're charging. Then if you ever need to use any of these things, you just plug it in and push the button and boom, you've got power. Whether you're looking at adding a large power bank to your van like this one, or just getting into the smaller Jackery batteries like the one that I love, the Explorer 240, Jackery has a 3-day 15% off sale. They haven't been doing discount codes for us creators, nothing like that at all. So you got to wait for these big sales in order to grab things at a discount, and they're having a 3-day sale. Let me look it up here. I wrote things down so I don't forget. May 17th to May 19th is a 3-day 15% off sale. And I'll leave the links to all the Jackery stuff and everything down below. Please, guys, before you dive into doing any of your power inside of your van, do your research. Think about what you're going to need for power on your own. And if you're the kind of person that wants to add an induction cooktop and you're using a portable power thing, or you think about running AC and you're buying a portable power thing, you need to rethink the electrical in your van. If you want high power items, please, guys, know that there's better ways to cook, okay? There's cheaper ways to cook, because the second you start adding high power needs to your vehicle, meaning like induction cooktops and all those other crazy things, electric grills, all that stuff, as soon as you get high power needs, then the cost of your electrical system goes higher and higher and higher. Because maybe this one might not fit. Maybe Jackery's going to have to create a brand new battery like the Jackery 2000, which is coming out sometime this summer. You got to realize when you start adding more power needs, the cost of you having an electrical system in your van gets to be extremely pricey. I keep my stuff very simple, and I think you guys should too. So while we're making a long video here today, I think a lot of people that make videos about these Jackery batteries, always telling you about, you know, all the techie stuff. I'm the kind of guy that I honestly don't care about the techie stuff. All I care about is it going to do exactly what I need it to do? Is it going to be enough for the power needs that I have in my vehicle? That's all I care about. So that's why I always tell you guys about the 240, the Jackery Explorer 240, because I know it runs my outside needs. They're really small, simple needs. But I also understand why people would need the larger batteries like this one here for those that want to run their entire van. Doing electrical, no matter which way you do it, whether you're running the portable battery, I keep reaching over like I'm touching it, whether you're running a portable battery or you're going to do a permanent bolted in system inside of your vehicle, power and luxuries gets to be very expensive. So just keep in mind how much luxury you need in your van and how much luxury you can just shave off and get rid of. Because van life is a lot better when you don't have all of those big luxury items. Do you know what I'm saying? And or if you do have them, just run them a shorter amount of time and your power will last you a lot longer inside of your vehicle. You guys hear that? Somebody is out there on a boat down there by the lake that's way down there. I want to be out there on the boat. Before I let you guys go here today, I want to talk to you guys about my travel plans for the rest of this summer. Hold on, you guys are crooked here. Is that better? Hold on. Is that better? Oh, we straight? I want to talk to you guys about my travel plans for the rest of this summer. I don't think we're going very far. My initial plan was to just take off and explore the backcountry in BC, but really, like, we should have been out there already exploring. But because of all the state of the world right now and a little bit of travel restrictions we have going on here in the province that I'm living in, we're going to stay put here for a little while until those restrictions ease up a bit. But my plan this year is to travel the north side of British Columbia, way up north, where there's no cell service, there's bears and moose and all bison and stuff all over the roads. When I was up there last year, I rushed it a bit too fast last year. But this year, I'm going to go into that trip a little bit more prepared, knowing that there's no cell service up there. So I'm going to bang out as many videos as I can before I hit that road, maybe upload 10 of them in a row so YouTube just releases them. And I got 10 days to get into the next cell service zone, which is enough time for me to full-blown explore and relax up there in the north, because cell phone service up there is... Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully this video talking about portable power helps some of you guys in your van life journey, or your overlanding, or helping you make a decision on what you guys need for power well, whatever you need mobile power for. Whether you're like me and you just need a giant battery to chase your dog down so you can trim his nails, so be it. If that's your case, I'd go with the smaller Explorer 240 if you plan on chasing your dog with one. I couldn't imagine running around. Cruise would run away from me. If I had to haul around that big Explorer 1500 to go grab my dog to trim his nails, yeah, he'd get away from me. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Big hugs for everybody. Always weird. Okay, guys, peace out.